Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six made their debut last night on Monday Night Raw. That's what everybody knows, but today we're here to talk about the wild theories that have been roaming around the internet since the Wyatt Six broke Twitter, broke all social media last night. So if you want to stay tuned and locked in on what's next for the Wyatt Six and Uncle Howdy, make sure to stay to the end of this episode of Wrestle Digest. But before we get into it, we got to say that 97% of you guys watching these videos aren't subscribed to the channel. So if you want to get us one more sub closer to our goal of 3,000, we'd really appreciate it. You'll stay up to date on everything that's happening around the wrestling world. And this could be your home for wrestling content here on YouTube. So make sure down below and hit that subscribe button. But with that said, let's get into the first topic, or the main topic, which is they're here. And yes, last night on Monday Night Raw, we got this sick picture of the Wyatt Six, but only 5 members so far. Still one to be announced by my count, Brady. And if we just take a look at who the members are here, obviously we have Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy. We have Nikki Cross as Sister Abigail. Erik Rowan as the Ramblin' Rabbit. Joe Gacy as Huskus the Pig, and Dexter Lumis as Mercy the Buzzard. And isn't that Buzzard mask just amazing? We're going back to that picture right there. I mean, that is a crazy mask. I'm sure Bray Wyatt is smiling down last night on Monday Night Raw. It was a great way to end Raw with Jey Uso qualifying for the Money in the Bank, and it just got me fired up, Brady. I got chills watching that whole 5-minute segment last night. What was your initial reaction to that?
Oh my God. When the lights went out and the actual Fireflies came out, because we all know the Yeeter of Worlds. I mean, Jey Uso also made a comment today as well. He said, "Hey, I don't want no trouble with y'all. Y'all can have the Fireflies. I don't want no part of it." Which, I mean, you can't blame him. But when those Fireflies came out, dude, and they showed the door that Bray Wyatt came through, my arms went cold, the hair on my arm stood up, and what we seen was Sister Abigail crawling out of this door, and it looks sinister, dude. Like, I was watching it with my brother and a friend of mine, and he was like, "Man, this is like scary." And I mean, to be fair, it was kind of chilling, man. I mean, disturbing, and the way she twisted herself, and then the camera, the camera panned to us backstage, and we got to see Rambling Rabbit. Oh my God, Rowan! He was standing there with the hammer, the mallet, very similar to the one that he carried when he was the Bludgeon Brothers with Luke Harper. Rest in peace as well. My God! And then who was it next? It was the Buzzard next. The Buzzard, Dexter Lumis, sitting on up on one of the crates, looking so menacing, dude. And that mask with the dreads, oh my God! Yeah, I'm willing to bet Bray had helped a hand in designing that thing, because wow, spectacular, and again, creepy as all anything, man. We seen blood splattered, guys laid out. We seen Braun Strowman laid out, which was crazy because former Wyatt member. Chad Gable, a victim last night, laid out as well. With all the crew and just everybody sprawled out backstage, the dingy lights. Oh my God. It was like something out of a movie, man. Like, the Paul Levesque era has been cooking, but now, oh my God, the Wyatt Six, this is going to derail everything. And I'm so stoked. And I mean, we got to talk about Joe Gacy. The pig mask looked sweet. And he looked so menacing in that, standing there with his head cocked to the side, looking like it was that nobody's business. And then, of course, Uncle Howdy himself. And let me just say, the upgrade of that mask is chef's kiss. The jacket looks incredible. The dreads, the hat, everything just looks so perfectly pieced together. And at the end of the segment, when they all crowded around Uncle Howdy at the end, and he had Bray's lantern and said, "We're here." My God.
Amazing. It was just amazing,
My
man.
God.
Like we said, like you explained everything that happened perfectly. I mean, it was just great last night to finally see that. And I think it's perfect that they waited this amount of time to
Yeah.
do this because we've seen the detail that went into all the masks, into all the attire, and it really pieced it together into like a little 5 minute horror film last night. We seen Chad Gable, like you said, lying with blood running down his face. What does that mean for Chad Gable? And I think it's just great to see. They're finally here. The Wyatt Six is here, but while you guys are tuned into the video is the theories. What are people saying online? What's going to happen next? And the first thing we're going to talk about today, Brady, is the Wyatt Six versus the Judgment Day. And this is one I have seen all over my feed today. Is, the Judgment Day has ruled Monday Night Raw for so long, and now with the menacing attacks from the Wyatt Six last night, looks like they're going to take over the Judgment Day. And I would really, really love to see an Uncle Howdy versus Damian Priest rivalry for the king of Monday Night Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. I would just love to see that happen.
I mean, I would love nothing more than to see the takeover commence. I mean, we were told the massacre was coming. Beware, you're warned. And we were warned for quite some time. Countless QR codes, man. And they're finally here. And who's running Judgment Day? I mean, who's running Raw? Sorry, it's the Judgment Day. And they've been running Raw for a little too long for my liking. You know, you put Liv Morgan aside, these guys are in trouble anyways, man, because you know that in order to take over Raw, you got to take out the head honchos of Raw, and that's the world champion Damian Priest. So, like you said, an Uncle Howdy maybe taking on Damian Priest in the future for that world title would be pretty cool. Uncle Howdy decimating Damian Priest, finally taking out that ankle or the knee or the leg, all of that good stuff that Damian Priest had going on when he got caught up in Scotland. You know, not his fault because the roads were a bit slippery, but regardless, would love to see Uncle Howdy just take over. Even if he recruited the Judgment Day instead of just getting rid of them. Now, I can't see that happening, but I'm just hoping for the Demon Finn Balor. I've been saying it almost every other video. And I'm just desperate here at this point, guys. I just want to see the Demon King again.
Yeah, me and Brady are absolute haters of Damian Priest if it's your first time
Oh,
here to the channel. So anything that's going to take out him and the Judgment Day, we're all here for. And I think we've been waiting a while for a new faction to kind of come in and take over Monday Night Raw, and we're seeing it now. We never
yeah.
seen anything like this before. Or like just last night with the fog in the production room with everybody laid out, superstars laid out. I mean, it just makes an eerie feeling. And if you're the guys running Monday Night Raw right now, the Judgment Day, you're hightailing it. You're heading on the next bus home because you don't want Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six to take you out. But they're coming. They're here and they're coming for the Judgment Day, and we're so here for it.
Yes, we
I
are.
just think we're going to get to see some crazy kind of match types involved here. I think that they are going to be fun. Obviously, we've seen the Firefly Funhouse match. Obviously, we won't get nothing like that again because just the time, COVID, they could record it and make it like a little movie. And but if we get to see a, maybe a House of Horrors type match or something like that, could be fun as well. But I think the rivalry between the Judgment Day and the Wyatt Six is going to start, and it's going to be a fun one to watch. And the next theory we've seen here online, Brady, is the full takeover of the tag division. And obviously, when we seen Eric Rowan before, and with Luke Harper, they were tag champions and they held the championships for quite some time. And now he's back. Maybe he takes a partner here in Joe Gacy or Dexter the Lumis, and they just go and decimate the tag division. But in my opinion, for this to happen, I think that Miz and Truth need to drop the titles to another opponent. I mean, I think we could get some funny moments from our Truth here with the Wyatt Six, but I think for an intense rivalry to kind of happen, it would make sense for them to maybe drop the tag titles to another team, and then the Wyatt Six just comes in and just takes them out. But I think with Rowan and Lumis and Gacy, I mean, these guys are just going to come in and decimate people, whether it's 6-man tag matches, whether it's 2-on-2 tag matches. They're going to come in, they're going to scare the pants off of their opponent, and they're just going to come in, grab those titles like it's their own.
Yeah. I got to disagree with you here. I think that R-Truth and The Miz would be the perfect two to lay waste to because, we got some great moments from the Awesome Truth. WrestleMania moment that was awesome. When the new titles got unveiled and, oh my God, Triple H, you ain't Triple H. I know Triple H. R-Truth, you're a gem, you're a beauty, and you're the funniest guy on the roster, which is why it makes sense for this dark wave to just come in and terrorize the funniest face in the company right now. And Miz is an actor. Miz could sell that so well, lay him out, pow, pow, beat him down to a pulp. R-Truth gets it, and they just take the titles. Could you imagine they just literally take the titles and then maybe send Lumis? Because I could see Rowan and Gacy being an incredible tag team. Just that
Yeah,
dynamic of just
100%.
heavy hitter, hard punch, and then throw Lumis into maybe the IC mix. That would be kind of crazy. We got a lot going on with the IC title right now. I know everything is up in the air, but like I said, complete takeover, just a theory. But I think seeing Dexter Lumis go for that IC title would be magnificent.
Yeah, we seen Chad Gable laid to waste last night, which he was the last competitor for the Intercontinental Championship at Clash at the Castle. So maybe we know how Triple H Paul Levesque likes to drop those little hints and cook up backstage, and maybe that's a hint that the Wyatt Six are coming for the IC Championship. And like you said, I think Lumis, I think all three of these guys are great singles competitors, but Eric Rowan as a tag team competitor is phenomenal. I think he's one of the better tag team competitors the WWE has had in quite a while. I think him and Harper were such a good tag team
Yeah.
together, and I think Gacy, we've seen flashes of him on NXT of being a great wrestler. So pairing him up with an older guy in Eric Rowan could really help mentor him in the world of wrestling as well. And I think these guys could really mesh well, and that's why I like your take of having these two guys together. But I do like Lumis. I think he's a incredible solo competitor, and I think once, if you haven't seen any Dexter Lumis matches, you got to go watch him because he is so good. I think he definitely
Yep.
deserves this, and I think seeing him going after a big fish in the company like Sami Zayn would be really fun to see, and I'd love to see that rivalry. But back to the tag team thing you just said, I like I kind of agree with their take of maybe Miz and Truth are the right ones here, but when I see this, say, rivalry between, say, Gacy and Rowan and Miz and Truth, I don't really see a rivalry or a feud building up here. It more seems like a squash match to me.
Yeah,
They kind of
that's what
go,
it would be.
yeah, on a Monday Night Raw. It's like, okay, these guys are taken on for the championship, and they come in and just decimate them, take the titles, and that's it. I can't see a feud building over weeks to a PLE. I
No.
just think it would change hands on an episode of Monday Night Raw. But I'm really excited for these three guys. I think that Lumis and Gacy have needed this opportunity for quite some time, and they're finally getting it alongside veterans like Bo Dallas, who, kind of had a failed run in WWE as Bo
Believe.
Dallas. So now, he's the head honcho. He's Uncle Howdy. It's going to be interesting to see how he takes that role as well. But there is one more member who we haven't talked about yet, Brady, and that is our next topic of the video. That is Sister Abigail, a threat to the women's division. And yes, we've seen in the past Liv Morgan be that kind of, twisted kind of character within the WWE, but not as twisted as a Sister Abigail, Nikki Cross. And I think on the same lines as I was talking about with Gacy and Lumis, Nikki Cross is another superstar who has phenomenal talent and has never had gotten that opportunity yet on the main roster, and now she is as Sister Abigail, and I'm really excited for her because I think she's a phenomenal wrestler. And like you said, the way she played that off last night, crawling out like the boogeyman, but in a twisted,
Yeah,
more
pretty well.
demented way, like she was in The Exorcist or something, was amazing. And I think Nikki Cross is going to be a major threat to this women's division. And Liv Morgan should stop worrying about Dominick Mysterio and worry about Sister Abigail because she's coming for you.
Oh, no doubt. More to worry about than that cow vest. That's for sure. But man, Nikki Cross, hats off. Played that out, like I said earlier, and like you just said, played it off so well last night. really played into the character of Sister Abigail. You know, she looked possessed, for God's sakes. I mean, crawling out like something possessed, like you said. And I mean, like you said as well, in the past, she's been so underutilized. Superhero Nikki ASH. Oh, and that just angers me. I hated that
I
gimmick so
know.
much. So now that she is a part of something bigger and something prominent within this company, absolutely. I mean, she's got the skill in the ring. The gimmick just adds to her skill. Yeah, Liv Morgan should definitely heed warning. You know, so much for looking out for Rhea when Rhea comes back, because there's another big fish in the pond already, and it's not Nia Jax,
No.
it's Nikki Cross.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think this kind of gives me eerily similar vibes to the Nexus when they arrived. I mean, like not in the twisted way, but as like
In the
all
takeover.
these superstars kind of never had their shot. They were waiting for their big opportunity, and they all got it with the Nexus. And this is what it seems like we're seeing with the new Wyatt faction, the Wyatt Six, is that all these, people in this faction have never really got their fair shake in the WWE, and now they are. And we've seen the Nexus. We've seen superstars from there go on to have great careers. I mean, Wade Barrett, obviously the number one guy there. Obviously, maybe was underutilized a little bit after the Nexus, were gone and stuff like that. But we've seen guys like, David Otunga, I mean, Heath Slater. I mean, those guys, they're mid carders, but
Husky Harris.
Husky Harris, exactly, Bray Wyatt. We've seen all these superstars come from the Nexus and have solid, not great, but solid careers. The only great one being Bray Wyatt. I guess you can maybe classify Punk in there because he was a part of it as well. But I think that this is going to be great for all these people. I think that this is going to really, get them their fair opportunity here in the WWE, and I'm really excited for it because I think all these, superstars have so much potential, and just seeing the way that, the vision of Bray Wyatt has been carried on, and picking the right role people for the right roles was a very big part of that, and they did it, and and they look really good. Obviously, we haven't seen them in the ring yet, but I'm really excited for it, and I know you guys are too. I think Nikki Cross is taking out the women's division. I think it's just going to happen. Maybe potential Money in the Bank. I think that would be insane.
That would be
Even
awesome.
though
Yeah.
I'd love to see Tiffany Stratton win it, I think it'd be cool to see Sister Abigail in that match as well. But we want to hear all your guys' thoughts
I want
on.
to touch on one more thing.
Yep.
The Wyatt Six, but there's only 5 members. Boom. Let's
Boom.
talk about it. Alexa Bliss, when are you coming? When are you coming back? Is it going to be Money in the Bank? Are you going to make us wait till SummerSlam? Because deep down, everybody knows the original Firefly Funhouse, she kind of got to be involved in it. It just makes sense. She's been out of action for quite some time after having her kid. So it would be the perfect way to reiterate Alexa Bliss into the mix.
Yeah, but to your point there, I think maybe this is the old Triple H foreshadowing here. I think maybe Braun Strowman taken out, he comes back as a new character in the
I hope
Wyatt Six.
that would
I
be so
think that
sick.
would be cool. I think that would be really fun because obviously they've been pushing Braun Strowman a bit over
Yeah.
this last little while, so maybe seeing him come back as a part of this new faction would be cool. But I'm a big Alexa Bliss fan. I'd love to see her back. I think she was great in that Firefly Funhouse thing back, however many years ago that was.
Yeah.
So seeing her come back in that role would be really fun. And then they kind of have that experienced wrestler within the faction that kind of, is the, I guess, the stronghold of it, because every faction has that member that, it has done it, has been there, has been to the pinnacle of WWE. Judgment Day, we had Finn Balor. He was there, obviously not for long because of injury, but all these, factions that come about have that one person who's been there. I mean, the only one not being it would be the Shield. I mean, those three guys just came in and obliterated everybody. But I think that this is a really exciting time to be a wrestling fan, and just
Yep.
seeing this new faction come in. It's just so good. I was a big fan of the Wyatt family. I mean, R.I.P. Bray Wyatt, because I would love to see the Fiend involved in this, because he would just carry this to new new heights. But
Yeah.
we got our faith in Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy here. He's gonna do something, and I'm really excited for next Monday to see what's going to happen with this new faction. We want to hear your guys' thoughts, your guys' wild theories on this new faction down below in the comment section. Love hearing from you guys. We're gonna get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Colin. Colin said he thought it was odd that Braun defeated Ilya the way he did, and he said, you're probably right that he's going to be the main focus going into the Netflix era, but he thinks Ilya should have been pushed harder than Braun and shouldn't have been squashed by Breaker. And I think, I have to agree with this. I think Ilya Dragunov has proven that he is definitely should be pushed harder. He should be pushed into the mid card, IC championship title immediately. And seeing him, kind of get decimated by Braun Breaker like that, was kind of tough to see to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Ilya Dragunov fan myself, all for it. One of my favorites on Monday Night Raw today, actually. So yeah, it kind of ticked me off too to see him get kind of buried like that. But at the same time, you look at the two sides of the coin. Ilya Dragunov is a big name, great in ring. So after all these squash matches, I think it is about time for Braun Breaker to actually lay waste to somebody who is a credible source for laying waste to. I mean, he laid waste to Ricochet and then Dragunov, and now we see him in the IC title picture. So who knows what'll come of it? But
Yeah.
we appreciate your comment, Colin. Love when everybody comments on the stuff. We always look forward to reading them all.
Yeah, definitely 100%. And I definitely agree. I think we need to see, Braun have a formidable opponent and have a match that's not really a squash match. And maybe Sami Zayn is that guy. Maybe Sami Zayn can stop him. Maybe not. We'll have to see what comes of that. Maybe we see him get decimated by the Wyatt Six. Who knows what's going to happen with him? But one thing I wanted to touch on, because we haven't touched on it, because I've been here where, as you can see, I'm in a hotel room right now waiting to come home. I've been at Scotland at Clash at the Castle. One thing I wanted to say before we close this video out is, why did they do Ricochet like that? I mean, come on, man. Laying him out in an ambulance, that is so horrible. It's just so
I
bad.
know.
I hated to see that. But shout out Ricochet. I mean, he had such a great career in WWE. We're going to see him maybe go to a New Japan or AEW, where I'm sure he's going to succeed there. But shout out to Ricochet. We just had to give him a shout out here on the channel. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be here almost every day giving you updates on everything that's happening around the wrestling world. So if you don't want to miss out on that, make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button. Also, while you're down there, make sure to hit the like button. It helps push these videos out to all the wrestling fans. We really appreciate it. If you hit that like button, comment on the video as well. Might be featured on the next comment of the day. But as always, I've been your host, Casey, alongside my co-host, Brady. We're back. I'll be back from Scotland tomorrow, and we'll be pumping out as much content for you guys. So we appreciate all the support we've been getting, and we'll catch you in the next one.